What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, KeysDan.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. Can't even talk right now. Get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. I like to party with the people. All right, party people. Speaking of party people, today on the program, I have Wyatt Pauley. Who's Wyatt Pauley? That name should ring a bell in your head. I'll give you a hint. Sending all my love. That's all the hint I'm giving you. In the next few minutes, you're going to hear a whole lot more from Wyatt Pauley. Yeah, you're going to hear it. All right, party people. This week's shows, let's see. Oh, Friday night, I'll be DJing a show over at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Kind of excited about that. 8 p.m. The Rab has been opened up for quite a few weeks now, and it's been going very well. I know we're taking a few precautions. You wear a mask as you walk in, and we got plenty of sanitizer, and I have wipes. So when you sing, I will sanitize your microphone after every use. How about that? Sanitize for your protection, keeping the people safe during this COVID-19 coronavirus thing we got going on. And then on Saturday night, Saturday, I'll be at the Choctaw VFW. Now, both of these, the Choctaw VFW and the Rab, are big rooms, and I think they're doing 50% capacity. So quite a few people can fit in the rooms safely, comfortably. I don't think that there should be. I don't foresee any problems. There haven't been up till now. Like I said, we've been at the Rab for quite a few weeks. They got the full bar, the kitchen, the pool tables. In fact, there's a pool tournament every Friday night. That starts at 8 p.m. and it goes until 1 a.m. And then on Saturday night, like I said, I'll be over at the Choctaw VFW, Choctaw, Arkansas. Come on out and play with us. Now, that one usually starts about 9 p.m. and we go until about 1 a.m. So after you're done playing at the lake, boating, sunning yourself, getting that good vitamin D to keep your immune systems up, yes, out there in this good old sunshine, you come out and you play with us out there at the Choctaw VFW Saturday nights. So, yeah, I get to have some fun with the people. Speaking of people that have fun with the people, let's get into it with Wyatt Pauley. I'm going to get him on Skype. Now, if you're just listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel. And that's, I guess you can look it up at RadioWhat.com on YouTube, but it's username Keys Dan. So one of those two, you're going to be able to find the video that I have up there with Wyatt Pauley. So, let's Skype Wyatt Pauley now. My goodness, looks like a big glow stick.
I'm in my studio. It's kind of dark. That's why. How about that now?
I guess it'll have to do if that's all the light you got. I mean,
that's it.
If we're talking to Wyatt Pauley, all the chicks are going to want to see. I know you're a tied down man, but back in the day when the girls heard Wyatt Pauley's name, they would say this, Wyatt Pauley.
Yeah, I never quite understood that.
Well,
I really didn't.
You cultivated this. Yeah, go ahead.
It was very strange. I wasn't very good at it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you cultivated this look, though. You had the long hair, the hoop earrings. You were pretty. You were so pretty.
Yeah, that's what Charlie still, when I talk to Charlie all the time, he'll send me old pictures, and I'm like, he goes, "What happened?" I'm like, "Shut up." He goes, you look like a girl.
Would that be Charlie Rock?
No, Charlie Panaccio from Lanier.
Oh, from Lanier. All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Now
I know Charlie Rock.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you're anywhere in Florida, anywhere in South Florida, and in the freestyle genre, Charlie Rock, and you have to, and that's where you are. That's where you started out. tell you what, why don't you give the people a little idea of who a Wyatt Pauley is?
Of who I am, okay. I was living in New York at the time. I was going to join the Navy and passed all the tests and did all that. And then I decided not to go because I wanted to do music. So my dad said, hey, okay, you're going to go to university then. And so you at least can teach, you'll never make it. My dad, my mom, different story. She was happy I didn't go.
Huh.
So I went to New York. A friend had a job up there. School was out. I was going to university with Joe, actually. And, yeah, I went to New York. I ended up staying up there for 5 months. Maybe I could make something happen. I was like 19, almost 20.
Well,
Then
give us the year on
I
that
called.
one so we get a timeline.
That would be like 1989.
How
No,
far out of high school were you?
1988 when I left it.
What year did you graduate high school?
Not very. 1 year after high school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm class of '86, yeah. So we're pretty close.
Yeah, I'm 87. Yeah.
Okay.
So that summer, I was going to school. I had a job. I worked for my dad. He owned his own business. So me and him got in a fight. I called my friend and said, hey, man, why don't you come up here and work for this guy, blah, blah, blah. Restoring kitchens. Good job for the summer. You can make money. So you have money to get your own place when you go back. I'm like, yeah, I can't live at home anymore. I can't do it. So anyway, I went up there like 2 weeks before coming back. I called Joey, the other guy in the band. I said, hey, man, I'm coming back to school this semester, this, that, and the other. What's going on? And hey, I met this guy, Tolga. When you coming? This, that, and the other. You got to come. You got to come. I'm like, okay. He goes, have you heard Part of Your Body? I'm like, I've heard it, the Italian guys. I used to hang out at a pool hall in Queens, Glendale. And said, hey, yeah, come down. So I was coming anyway for school. So I met them, and a couple months went by, and I just get a random call in the middle of the night. It was Tolga and Charlie on the phone. They said, hey, man, can you come down and cut some guitar parts? It's like 10 o'clock at night. You kind of settling down, even at 20, just watching tubes, Man, I got up so fast, grabbed my gear, threw it in the car, and, went down there. Whipped in there. Charlie said that it was crazy, man. You whipped in, the trunk was already open. So I went in there and I met Tolga, and I never left. And before you know it, Tolga said to me, he goes, what are you doing this week? And I'm like, nothing. He goes, you want to go to New York? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And do a show with us. It's going to be live on the radio and everything. I was like, okay. We were first part of Tolga's group, and Tolga was responsible for CBB. He was on a label on Polygram. He had a hit called Loving Fool up in New York, Hot 97. So we did that. And so when I went back to New York and seen all my friends, I told them I was playing this club on 57th Street in Manhattan. They were like, what? I said, Emerald City. He goes, hey, they broadcast live or whatever. So all my friends from that neighborhood came to the show. It was nuts. So this was the cool part. I left New York, went back like 6, 8 months later, working with these guys, riding in the limousine to a show. I remember opening up the sunroof and just looking at the buildings and going, wow, it's true. You can make it here. You can make it anywhere. And from there, we went on and we recorded Sending All My Love. It was going to be a Tolga track. And then he saw the reaction that Charlie, Joey, and I got, being his band, backup band, if you will. And he said, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. You guys are going to do it. And then you recut Sending All My Love and play on it. And I'm going to push it. And then we send it to it. Believe it or not, this is how long ago. We pressed 1,045. 45. You people probably don't even know what that is anymore. 45
Grandpa,
on my,
Grandpa, what's a
yeah,
45?
exactly. On vinyl, and we sent it out. I remember like getting blisters. We bought that broadcasting book at the time. It was like that big. So we found every CHR station, the littlest one to the biggest one. So we went and did a gig in Boca area. Went back to the studio. These gigs are late because they're like nightclubs, you know. So you go on at midnight, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning. So we headed back to our studio, you know, to get back in our cars, go home. And the phone rings like at 5 a.m. Odd time, right? So it's like, okay. Charlie picked it up, and it's a guy from Hawaii. It's a station in Hilo, Hawaii, playing it like 5 days. He goes, this record has been #1 for 5 days. Call my friend John Christian out in San Jose, California. He works at Hot 97. So we did. We gave it to him, and Charlie acted like the promotion person. So he was really nervous when we went there. John walks in. He was working on his car, so he had grease and really nice station, you know, huge. And he walks in, this, that, and the other, and looks dirty and hot, kind of frustrated. And this is the program director. You're like, huh, okay. And, you know, usually they don't act like that. He's like a very normal guy. And he goes, oh, hi, how you doing? Okay, you guys made it. That's great. And Tolga went with us. And he's like, who's Charlie Panaccio? And he was like standing in the back. It was so strange because Charlie's very, you know, he works for a record label now. You know, he was totally not him, kind of like cowering in the back. And, hi. Hey, man, I love that record. I've been playing it. Yeah, I said, that's why we came on. He goes, so who's the singer, Charlie? He goes, I thought you, okay. So he put us on a show. He added us to the show. Huge show at the Zurich Arena where the Sharks play hockey. No clue what was going to happen. We went out there, did a show. It was all over. Atlantic was all over. After that, we ended up selling 50,000 units, 12-inch records.
Who's pressing these records?
On Tolga.
Okay.
We were borrowing money from everyone to press these records because they were selling. I remember driving with Todd, our road manager, to the airport to drop them off to send them to California. So we moved 50,000 units. It was crazy. So of course, Atlantic, you know, after they saw the video and knew how many units we were moving, they were, you know, so they got on it. You know, went breaker like week 1, and they just went up the chart.
All right, Wyatt, Pauley.
Top 10 chart.
If you were writing your own movie, that was the first scene of the movie. Now let me fill in some of the spaces because I like to give credit where credit is due. When you mentioned Charlie, it's Charlie Panaccio. You already got that. And then when you mentioned Tolga, it's Tolga Katas. And he's the producer. And this is kind of where you're beginning your story, where the beginnings of Lanier kind of worked its way out into the universe, into the world with Sending All My Love. And you say Sending All My Love was originally going to be a Tolga Katas band. What was the name of his band? Do you remember?
Just Tolga. We were under Tolga. That's it.
Under Tolga. Okay. So let's go back a little bit further. You say you graduated in 87. What school? Where was that?
South Plantation, South Florida.
You're a paladin. I was Western High School.
That's right.
Yes.
Purple and yellow.
Yes, I saw many plays there at the Paladins. It's a very theatrical school, and that's happenstance that you were at that school. Now, you know, I went to Western High School in Davie, Florida.
Yeah,
right down the street.
Yeah, I know. I remember Western. Good God, yeah.
The Wildcats, baby. You know, class of '86. Yeah. So I know.
I think I dated someone from that school.
Okay, and I think I dated someone from South Plantation as well. So there you go. We, you know, used to hang out at the Broward County Mall and the Mixed Sugars, and you know the theater, behind Mixed Sugars, and,
absolutely,
and that record, the record
behind the movie theater was where the party was at.
Absolutely, and the record store right there. That's where me as a baby DJ used to buy all my records. Whenever I would pull my Mustang in, the record store owner would come out and say, "Hey Dan, got some new stuff for you. Come on." So I, instead of spending my
Awesome.
quarters at McSugar's next door, I would be
Yeah.
at
The
the record
arcade.
store, at the record store, probably buying some freestyle and some disco records and some 80s pop and that kind of thing, which is where I was kind of living at the time, and of course the 80s rock. But all right, you went to South Plantation. Did you take advantage of any of that theatrical stuff that was going on in that school?
Believe it or not, I went to private school my whole life because I was born in a different country. So Spanish is my first language. I was born in Ecuador.
My first
But my
language too. I'm
father
half
worked.
Cuban. I was born in Miami.
Yeah. Right on, brother. Hi, Leo.
Yeah.
Certified. Yeah.
North
Uh,
Miami
I,
General,
I,
man.
uh, I was born in Ecuador, and then I ended up living in Lima, Peru,
Oh,
for like
cool.
10 years. So my dad worked for the government.
Okay, so
He was
he's
a,
an American.
he was a spook. Yeah,
Okay,
he
but
was
he's
an
an
American.
American living in other countries, doing
My dad was a spook.
okay. All right. Every kid
So
in
we lived in
school.
a lot of different.
eh,
I've changed so many schools by that time. It was always even the last one. So I only did my senior year in public school in my senior year because I met Joe and I seen how much fun it was, and I was always sent to like these religious schools. That my dad was not a fanatic or anything. It was my mom. Raised Catholic, the whole thing. So
Me too.
you too.
I
So
went to St.
you
Monica's.
Catholic school.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catholic. I went St. Jerome.
Yeah, St. Monica's Catholic School in Miami. I'm not even
Uh,
sure if it's there still. I did it till sixth
yeah,
grade. Were you in South
yeah,
America when you did your Catholic school?
yeah. But here, yes, here, South America, everywhere I went, yes, private school
Very
because
cool. And then what made
that
you take the jump over to public school just for the last year?
like I met Joe so and I seen how much fun and one day like we had off or whatever and he said, "Hey man, come hang out at school." I'm like, "Hang out at the school? What are you talking about?" He goes, "No, it's cool, man." And I went with him in classes and stuff and I started meeting people, went to some party and had a blast. So I told my mom, say, "Hey, I want to go to school there." So, you know,
Yeah, that's a
so
way
I
to
went,
yeah, to round out your school career curriculum.
yeah.
You hang out with some different kinds of kids. All right.
Yeah,
So
and like you said, that programs. I never really took advantage of the programs, but I tell you what, I was friends like with the jocks, and I was friends with like the rock guys, and of course the girls and whatever. I was kind of friends with everybody. I used to hang out with this guy named Rob Goldberg that everybody used to tease. He was kind of geeky, but I thought he was cool. I was never that way. I used to hang out with the stoners over by the fence. I don't know if you ever heard of them there. So hang out with those guys too, and most of the time hang out with those guys and just kind of watch. And then me and Joe would walk the halls and stuff and do whatever. So and then after that, I went to New York.
that sounds
And
like
then go figure, I went to go get a job in New York, try to make it in New York, And then I came back, and it was so cool.
yeah, but for a kid who just gets out of high school, somebody says, "Go to New York." Why do you go to New York? But before you answer that question, every kid in school wants to have their parents with a cool job. Your dad's a spy. What's up with
Yeah,
that? How was that
it's
living?
not what you think.
Come
It's not
on.
what you think.
I'm
Um,
I'm thinking, Meet the Fockers, where De Niro, that kind of a spy. That's the dad that I'm.
yeah, well, he watched everything. He did. I didn't know for years. Till I got older.
Then he's a
So,
good
and then you
spy.
think back. Yeah, then you think back and you go, but he was gone. Like for 2, 3 weeks at a time, sometimes a month.
Mhm.
It was just normal. It was, Mom would say it's part of. Uh, we've been in the moving business for like 45 years. So trucking and yeah, and my dad's from West Virginia. His dad used to work with Joe Kennedy and Irish Catholic, the
Okay.
whole nine.
All right. So
That's us.
was
So,
mom Spanish or did
yeah, mom's Spanish. Yeah,
from Ecuador? Maybe
yeah, hmm
is that where they
yeah,
met?
yeah. He was there. He worked for Allied Van Lines at the time, supposedly, and he did. He had jobs. Yeah, and then he started his own moving companies and were very
His home
successful.
moving
Yeah,
company.
export, import, export business, really, man.
I
Yeah,
like it.
you've seen American Made, I'm sure.
No, I
That was my
haven't.
dad.
Okay, I
My
know.
dad was a pilot, and he broke world record at the time skydiving and stuff. So I had, kind of pressure in a way, like because that's all I knew. My dad was like the coolest guy ever.
Okay.
Not as a father so much, but like to his friends and everyone just looked up to him. He would be on TV on the news. Friends, we got thrown out Peru, by the way.
Well, but
In the
primarily
middle,
you're getting raised by mom. What did you learn from mama?
everything. My mom is just absolutely the best. She was so supportive, this, that, and the other. I learned how to play Hotel California just to please her out of a book, all self-taught till I went to college.
Who got you the first
And
guitar?
uh, my uncle, Mike.
I always got to
Yeah,
give credit where credit is due because that is
yeah.
a
I would
fateful
spend
day.
summers in the Bahamas. I would spend summers in the Bahamas with him. He was in business with my dad,
Oh,
and
in the
yeah,
moving business.
yes, he was.
So
He
what
lived
kind
in
of
Marsh Harbor, unfortunately,
so what
where
kind of a guitar did you end up getting from your uncle? Was it acoustic or electric?
an
And
acoustic, just a piece of crap acoustic that he picked up somewhere on the island. My uncle kind of was a junk guy. He was like the original picker, like picker show. Yeah, he would come home with like ceramic pig just for no reason. Pretty blitzed out of his mind all the time. So God bless him, he passed away.
hey, he had
But
his
he was
reasons,
so
man.
cool.
But he got
Yeah,
you the
and he lived
guitar.
in back then, Marsh Harbor was like the most outer, it still is the most outer island in the Bahamas. It wasn't developed like unfortunately the hurricane hit. It was way different. And he lived on top of that mountain. And you could just, so his view from the back, it was just blue. It was the Atlantic Ocean and, who, where, when. And he was a sailor his whole life. So that was like a stopping ground.
All right. One thing about living
That was
here,
the hub.
yeah. One thing about living
I was
here
the hub for those guys. Once I figured it out,
for
it was
sure.
the hub for those guys, and because they could go anywhere on their sailboat.
No,
From
once you live near the ocean, it changes you, Paul, Wyatt Pauley. It definitely does. I mean,
yeah, I
that's one
mean they
thing that
would
I
go.
miss
They
about
would
Miami and the
they,
Keys.
they would sail to Colombia, man, and have to change the water line and everything on the boats because the boat get heavier and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like
Okay.
I said, American made. Both sides of the coin. Yeah.
Hey, I've never seen American Made. I'm not sure what the reference is. Now I have to go check it out.
It was about a guy who worked for the CIA and was a pilot, and he ran into like you could do both. You could work for the CIA and still like make money, on the side, doing little things, bringing things back that were
Okay.
illegal.
All right. I've heard
Yeah.
things. Back in the '80s, there was a lot of square groupers that would wash up on the beach
Oh
in the
yeah,
Florida Keys.
My aunt had a T-shirt that said instead of "Save the whales," it said "Save the bale."
That
Yeah,
is correct.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why they lived. My uncle lived out in the Bahamas. My dad lived in Fort Lauderdale. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Paladin. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic. You're making me.
it was
You're
a
making me
trip when you
homesick.
get older.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. No.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. You're taking me
the
through.
beaches are closed. If that makes you feel any better.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah,
I'm okay. Yes. Skipping way forward. Yes, we're all stuck in quarantine due to this novel COVID-19. I'm done with
yeah.
it. I'm done with it. Back it up.
Oh,
Let's
please.
go back.
Yeah.
Let's go back to right after high school. I mean, I mean, what does a 19, 20-year-old kid say? I'm going to New York. by myself. What? I mean, who did you have up there that you were going to meet up with?
It was my best friend at the time. And listen to this.
Please.
I said, okay, I'm working for this guy, Nick. He did custom kitchen. I'm working for this guy, Nick. That, just come, I promise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said he's going to have a job. So I go and hang out. I flew on the weekend. Eastern Airlines, $99 one way, with 50 cents in my pocket. No lie. I still had the envelope from the bank. 53 cents actually. No money. My guitar and my duffel bag. That's it. So I went up there. He picked me up at LaGuardia. He lived in Queens. We went up to Queens, hung out, and he took me to the billiards place where he hung out off Myrtle Avenue over there in Queens. And hung out with these guys or whatever. And a few months went by. I was making a little money. So, I had money to spend. Every weekend we go to New York in the city. It was still just one bridge. And every weekend I was in the city. I loved it. I love it. I love it. And so I had to go back to school and everything, and then went back to New York, like riding in the limousine. And limousines ain't no big deal, believe me. After we got signed, this, that, their radio station would say, hey, we're sending a car, this, that, Do you mind if you send a van, just a station van or anything? You don't have to rent anything. I said, we'd rather ride in a van than those limousines.
Me too.
Because that bags and stuff, and it was more comfortable. Limousines, it was cool in the beginning, but then we were like, yeah, no limos. You got a van?
No, me too. I worked at a lot of radio stations, and the best thing about working at that radio station was sometimes driving the company van, man, just tooling around town in your Exito 105.5 or your Power 96 or your Y100 vehicle, So
God, Y100 still here.
It's still there. Oh my goodness! I mean,
so is Power. Yeah.
Oh, I've done promotions and a little bit of on air for all of those stations, but my main one was Exito 105.5. That's no longer there anymore, sadly.
And Hot, was it Hot?
Oh yeah, Hot 105.
Yeah,
Yep, for
still
sure.
there, I think.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
It's like the record labels and the corporations bought all the radio stations. They own everything.
That's what happened. At 105.5.
That's what happened.
Yeah, when I was working there, it was live DJs 24 hours a day on my little station. It was a mom and pop station. It was owned by one person, which was great. When the companies start owning it, then they limit the music. Us on our 105.5, we were able to play. We had a bilingual station, 2 disco. It was disco, freestyle, salsa, merengue. So Lanier was playing all the time. And when you said "Party Your Body," I said, "Oh yeah, Stevie B, of course." So
so Tolga, that's Tolga's claim to fame. So then he did us. So record labels were interested. Because then Spring Love, he produced that too. So Tolga was kind of responsible for Stevie B at the time.
Well, that's great. Stevie B did a fine job.
Well,
He's done well.
Kind of like, he's still doing it, man. He's like the king of it.
Last time I saw him was 2008 at the Freestyle Explosion down there in Miami, and he was still.
Yeah, they asked us to do those.
I mean, how often do you get to do them at all, or do you ever?
Last time that I performed, it was just Charlie and I and this other guy named Steve, and we went to Brazil for like 3 weeks, and we played Rio, all over Rio.
See, that's cool. And, people have the nostalgia.
Yeah, Rio is crazy. Yeah, I know. And that was 95. That's the last time I ever played with them.
With Lanier or as Lanier.
Yeah, and Joe and Charlie never really liked each other ever from day one. So it was difficult. So that was why the second album was called Caught in the Middle.
Well, for
because I was Joe's friend, and then I became really good friends with Charlie. Me and Charlie hit it off the minute I met him. We were instant brothers. And he liked to write, and I played guitar, so we would sit around and write songs. Joe wanted to go out and party, because that was Joe's thing. And I loved going out with him. It was fun. He knew everybody. He was like the mayor, So when he walked in, and then when the record came out, he still, of course, he's even going out more. He's going to take advantage of it. So Charlie kind of really didn't like that, because we were around just at the studio all the time with Tolga, working, 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 working. So when the time came, we were ready. Our album was done. So we went and mixed it in International Sound at the time. Gloria Estefan owned it. And then John Cicada ended up going in it.
John Cicada. Now, he was put together.
Yeah.
I know he was hanging around with Gloria Estefan and the Estefans.
He wrote Coming Out of the Dark for her.
Okay. I know he was hanging out with them. When I met up with him I met up with him down in Key Largo at some kind of record thing when he was doing Angel and all those records. Now, for those that don't know, I mean, the freestyle that we're talking about, the Latin freestyle or Miami freestyle, a lot of these groups were put together, slammed together, whether they liked each other or not. If they sounded right together, that's a lot of these groups were put together that way. Was that how Lanier was put together, or did you actually like any of the people that were in the group with you?
I liked Joe. I went to high school with Joe. We used to party a lot, and we didn't drink or anything like that, but he loved going out, and he could, we would go to like these big nightclubs at the time in Miami. It was nightclubs, Assad and everything, but he knew somebody everywhere. So we weren't of age to go into those places. So, he knew somebody in the kitchen up the side. Okay, boom, he gets us in. Hey, I know somebody at Backstreet, they'll let us in, after hours club. And so he would get us, get me in all these clubs, and we were underage. So nobody ever knew. So he kept doing that. And then, a little more time passed, we became of age and kept going. When we came of age, that's when the record came out. And then that summer, after the call, we toured all over Miami. It was Power 96 was real easy to go on the freestyle record because it was created in Miami. So they kind of like supported that. So of course they played our record or whatever. So then after the Hawaii call, California called, and then he said from California, he said, "Hey man, I know this guy named Big Dog out in San Antonio that plays this music. Let me talk to him." And he was a huge P1 station. That means population per capita market. He said, "Hey man, you come out and do a show for me, I'll play your record." So we got in our van. Charlie had a Corvette at the time, believe it or not. Yeah. Before Tolga, because of Tolga, Charlie was in the Stevie V band. Okay. Before he was in the Tolga band. Yeah, so that's how we met Tolga.
Okay.
So he realized
now it's
Tolga
all
was the guy with the talent. Right. So he realized that Tolga was the guy with talent. So that could do something for him. So when Stevie started getting big, he kind of like, became Stevie B. Everyone knows he's a pain in the ass.
That's what I've been told. But the times I've met him,
everyone
fine.
knows
He's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So believe me, I know the man. His name is Bernard, by the way. Bernard, Stephen Bernard.
Hey, mi abuelo, my grandfather's name Bernardo. Berardo. I'm sorry, I mispronounced his name like almost everybody else did. It's Berardo.
No, but that's his real name.
Yes.
Yeah. Sapphire. Her name is Wilma.
Yes.
Betty D for Sweet Sensation. Her name is Beatrice.
Yes.
They all use the same name.
Dishing out the real name.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't care. And that's, but then I realized, I'm like, okay, every show was the same. Everything was the same. I mean, and then it went to teen magazines. We were in a Pop-Tart box. It was just bananas, man, and it was just like, wow.
What did your mom think? What did your mom and dad think about all that?
My mom and dad decided to get divorced
Yeah.
after 21 years being married around that time.
Yeah.
My mother taped everything I was ever on. She would buy two magazines, one to keep and one to scrapbook.
Yeah.
And she said she would go to church on Sunday to St. Jerome's of 9th Ave and 84th, and then go to the cemetery, and then go to Bob's newsstand across from Broward General. And sit on the floor and go through all the magazines. My sister used to tell me it was so boring. Oh my God. 5 years. Why? The Messiah.
Oh no, that's all right.
So,
Hey, and it happened pretty
yeah.
quick. You graduated in 87,
Yeah,
and
it was
by
so
90 you
huge,
got a
and
Billboard
it,
hit, you know?
yeah,
So,
and it carried on to 91, and
yeah.
we played everywhere, man. We went. I mean, when we tell you we went everywhere, but the summer before that summer, you know, so we went to California. We had to fly out there, of course, and then we got in this van and we went to San Antonio, and then we did a show for him, and
Big
that
dog.
that worked out really good. And Daisy Fuentes at the time was working for Spanish MTV, and she was there, and she saw the show. She came up to us and she said, "You got, I'll see you guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon again." And we're like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You'll see." And then we ran into her like 2 years later at what's that? What's that Melendez party or something? We didn't even want to go. She got signed to CBS. I'm sorry, Columbia. So she was there, and we're like, "Hey man," it was just me and Charlie, pretty much all the time. Uh, I'm like, "Yeah, that's her." She's some guy though, Let's not be rude. So she saw it. She was married at the time. She came over and talked to me. She goes, "Congratulations. I told you guys." So she remembered us, and she goes, we're like, "Yeah, yeah." She goes, "I told you guys." She was right. She called it, man, right on the spot. So from San Antonio, this guy goes, "Listen, there's this other station, San Antonio, that I'm friends with, and they play a lot of freestyle music. Go over there." So we went over there. It, it went great. Then we went to Austin. So we spent like our summers between California and Austin a lot. So came back, did a show for New Year's Eve. I'm like, God, I hope something happens.
New Year's Eve 1991?
1990,
90. Wow, okay, like when you were
So
first out. So that whole year was
yeah,
ridiculously
and that
crazy.
summer, and then Christmas came around, and we're like, Christmas, everything kind of stopped, especially the music business and everything. So we were a little disheartened because, it was Christmas. We had no money. We've been touring, doing shows, in front of thousands of people, which was great. But come Christmas time and New Year's, and I got a cold, I got this fever, my phone got shut off, you know. So I'm like, it was miserable for like 2, 3 days. So Charlie couldn't get a hold of me. So the day after New Year's, on the second, he came over to my house. He said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm so sick, man. I would have found a way to call you, man. My phone's off, the whole thing." And he was with our road manager. He goes, "Well, you might want to sit up to this." My mom walked in the room. He goes, "Congratulations, you're an Atlantic signed artist." Boy, I got up. I go, "Say what?" My mother was like this. He goes, "Yeah, we just got signed to Atlantic Records. It's that, he goes, we got to go take a photo in South Beach tomorrow."
Did you get an Adios Mio and a sign of the cross or what?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God," I couldn't believe it. So we went down there and took pictures. So on that album picture, I'm like dying. I had like 102 fever, had a cold. So on the album cover, I'm like,
Oh, but you
I
still
was
look that
sick.
pretty. I'll tell you.
Yeah, man. I was like, yeah, I didn't care, man. I could have had rubella and I went down there.
For
It didn't
sure.
matter.
I mean
Yeah.
if you were
Yeah,
already
that's
you were
one
already
thing. These
cooking.
opportunities happen like that.
Yeah, if you
So
are
like
already
you got to
cooking
jump up.
in 89 and 90, you were already cooking with gas. When you signed to Atlantic Records, what did that do? How did that propel you even further?
Well, they took the record up the Billboard chart, and then They sent us out to LA for like a week to do some press.
Okay.
And we stayed at the Roosevelt on Hollywood. Never been to Hollywood, right? We went to the Bay Area, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But we never been in Hollywood.
So
So
what did
we
that
went
press
walking around
entail?
Hollywood. And so we stayed at the Roosevelt and just did press. Went to, Atlantic was on is on Sunset over there. So,
Mm-hmm.
we did some stuff for Atlantic and, some press, and we took a lot of pictures, the needed pictures, and we did some magazine stuff and whatever. And like, can you guys stay one more week? I'm like, yeah, sure, this, that, and the other, but we got to show this, that, and the other. Yeah, 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 we know. You're going to this station, this station, this station. Then you're coming back here. Call home. Mom, I got to stay out here for a little while longer. So we went and did a few shows, came back, still staying there. Now it's like 2 weeks. And the guy, he said, okay, can you guys stay a little longer? Because we're going to shoot a video. Okay. So right away, within 2 days, we're shooting Sending All My Love with full, everything. We'd never done a video, makeup, beauty range, light shining in from the outside, all this big to do stuff. But videos suck. All you do is wait,
Yeah,
and you
I mean,
can't eat.
but who directed that video, or do you remember any of the production? Because it's a lot of black
He
and
did it.
white and a lot of color
Yeah, he
on the
did it.
beach.
Uh, that was Seagull Beach in California. I don't remember his name, but he worked at Atlantic before. He'd done Enough's Enough, the band at the time. Fly High Michelle.
I mean, but
Yeah.
you guys were
So
all glammed out. You had a look that was cultivated. I mean, the leather jackets, the bandanas, the jeans, the boots.
well, at the time we loved those 501 Levi commercials.
Sure.
How they were black and white and just the Levi's were kind of like colored in. It was the beginning of that era where they did black and white and something blue. You know what I mean? So we liked that whole look, like white t-shirts, blue jeans, and leather jackets. And both those guys were born in New York. And I kind of lived in New York for a while. So we took that New York attitude with the leather jackets and the whole thing.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of
So,
sense. That's the uniform
yeah.
up there as far as we see on The
Right.
Outsiders or any of those Brando movies up
Yeah.
there for
Yeah. We
sure.
were like greasers.
Mhm.
I remember putting all the jackets on. I looked at Charlie. I go, man, we look like the Lords of Flatbush. That's another
Gotcha.
place in Queens. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Flatbush Avenue.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's where we look like the Lords of Flatbush, man. Okay, I
Okay.
can dig that.
Wyatt Pauley, here comes a standard interview question in 3, 2, 1. Where did the name Lanier come from?
You really want to know?
I want to know.
Okay, most people don't know this. It linear is a straight line, correct? So Charlie would use it, like a straight line through the top for like straight line arrow guys. We don't drink. Those guys didn't drink, didn't party, didn't smoke, nothing. Right. So teen magazines love that. So we had to keep that image up. So that was it. That's what he would say to press and whatnot. But the name itself, it was uh, it was a Roland D50 keyboard. It was a linear synthesizer. The way it looked in blue, and you say that we just pronounce it linear. I go, but it means linear. I was going to college it. So he goes, whatever, linear. He goes, I like the way it looks in blue on the keyboard, and that's it.
Did he end up
I'm like,
getting one of those keyboards as well?
well, that was the main sound of Sending All My Love. That dun 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 dun. That was the sound on that keyboard. That
Got
kind of
it.
like made the whole record, and it said it was a linear synthesizer.
Very
So he
cool.
liked the way it looked in blue, and he showed me. So I remember going over and looking and going, "Yeah, it looks cool." Name's a name.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's how
we
names
became
come,
that.
man. That
Yeah,
inspiration it comes from one of your pieces of equipment that you use.
yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah, it was, and the title "Sending All My Love." I was joking with Charlie the other day. Uh, I was asked, what is "Sending All My Love" about? You know, of course, standard answer is that me and Charlie talk like once a week. We
Right.
we
That's
do a
good that
lot
you
of
still
business
keep in
together.
touch. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, we do. We work together a lot on a lot of different things.
That is so good.
And said, hey, so and so wants to know what sending all my love's all about. Can I tell them? He goes, yeah, man, tell them. I don't. Sending all my love's about nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sounds like an
It was a
American song to
positive.
me.
It was a positive message. The true story behind sending my love, we had the riff, right? Polga had the keyboard riff. It was
Yeah.
great. That repeated itself over and over. The name Lanier was actually taken. We used to have this pin board, and we would subscribe to R&R and Billboard. We get those magazines weekly to see what's going on, who's who, who's where. In R&R, you would get the chart and you would get the name of the program director and the station, and the music director. So only on Tuesdays, and leave a message. They were so mean. They got what they deserved. Shit, I got lost.
No, that's all right. I mean,
okay. No, sending all my love came from a Billboard page. We would pin the top 100, to the thing every week. It was a song called "Sending All My Love" that was on the Billboard chart. So you just grabbed it out of that.
I wonder who that was
put
from.
words. I know who it's from, but I'm not going to tell.
Oh, you can. You can. You
Yeah,
should.
I can. The Jets.
Give credit where credit is due.
The Jets.
The Jets. Hey,
yes.
And there
and
it
then
is.
we met them, and we were like, "Oh shit!"
We stole your song title. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's a totally different song, I'm sure. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm. Well, I don't think I remember the one by the Jets.
I don't remember how it goes.
Yeah.
I remember other Jets songs.
Well, I know that
I got a crush on you.
Yes, of course. You found out.
I got a crush on you.
Perfect. Yes. Oh, see, you never know where things are going to inspire you, and you got inspired by a dart on a magazine, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, like.
There.
That's good.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's how it was. The name.
What's the name of your band?
Cool and blue.
On that piano right over there. Yeah, I got it. On that keyboard. No, that's fantastic.
That's how it all came about. And then what we did on the stage, just forget it.
Okay, so
the girls loved it, of course.
First time as Lanier performing, was it in studio or were you performing already out on stages or in clubs any place?
Yeah, we were performing all over as soon as those
all over New York,
and we found out. Yeah, because Power 96 supported us, and we had a booking agent out of New York at the time.
Well, Power 96 in Miami, you're talking about.
Yeah, they're playing it, and they're a big station, right?
Yeah,
they were playing it. We brought in Phil Jones from Hot 105 to do a remix, just to give the record more of an incentive, so he would play it at the midnight on his show. I remember the first time I heard it on Power 96. I was driving down 95. I almost killed myself.
Yeah.
20-year-old. 21 years old.
Yes. I mean,
I had to pull over, use the payphone, put quarters in the payphone. Nobody that knows that.
When I think of Hot 105, I think of Bob Rosenberg all the time.
Yeah.
He was the mixer.
Bob.
Will to Power.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Will to Power. What's his name's sister was in it? Lazaro Mendez.
Yes.
Maria Mendez worked on that record a lot. I dated Maria for many, many years.
That's sweet. So, all right, Wyatt Pauley has found love at certain points in his life as well, and that's a good thing. He's pretty, and the girls
from A to Z, man.
The girls were throwing themselves at you. How do you know which one's with you for the right reasons? How do you discern?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was never very good at it. I never quite understood.
Yeah,
it was an act.
You're the guitarist.
And even the show was an act. Right. So there was really like no improvisation, no nothing, so that got old after, 4 years.
I get it.
So I started
I
writing
get it. Playing
songs
the
with
same
this other
song.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was
Well,
a guy in the band that played keyboards but he played guitar also. So we would sit in the back lounge and play guitar at night. And we ended up writing this one tune. And then, he wanted to record it. So I was between albums. I said, listen, man, I had money. Let's go record that song. Let's see how it sounds. He's like, are you
95,
serious? I'm like, yeah,
96,
yeah, not 95. So
95.
let's go record that song, man. Let's go do that. So we recorded it, and of course, it sounded great, and I loved it because it was different, and I got to record with live drums and all that stuff. But the first Lanier record had a lot of live drums. Uh, Todd Kelly from Tough Luck. If you lived in South Florida, you knew who Tough Luck was. It was like the band that was going to make it. So Todd Kelly was the receptionist. That was her boyfriend at the studio. So she called him up. He came and played on a ballad that Charlie and I wrote. The very first song Charlie and I wrote. So then I started writing songs with this other guy.
Okay. Who's this other
So I had
guy?
a little time. His name was Ricky Richards.
Okay. Give credit where
And
credit is due. You got a new band member,
yeah,
a new way to
so
create.
this is what happened. So that started doing good, and we ended up writing more songs, and I kind of was distancing myself a little bit, time, and more, because you're with those guys all the time. You don't want to see them all the time. So, and Charlie was my writing partner at the time. I felt like I was cheating on him. And
Oh,
if anybody that doesn't know about bands, they're like a marriage when you make it. So I kind of was doing this on the side. And then after the second record, we did a huge video on South Beach for TLC, the whole thing, tons of money being thrown around. We, Tolga didn't get to produce. Charlie and Tolga got in a fight, which was so dumb because, we would have used Tolga. And we wrote a lot of songs for that record. And they gave us David Frank. He had done like MC Scat Cat with Paul Abdul. He was in the System, the music group, Don't Disturb the Screw.
yes.
Dun, dun, dun,
Don't
dun,
disturb
dun,
this
dun.
groove.
Right. So he
Yeah.
kind of had that linear sound, like dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? The whole thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
and he was an Atlantic artist. So we went with him, and he ended up he wrote Genie in a Bottle. He worked with 98 Degrees. David's just the best keyboard player I've ever seen in my life. I remember I would come early to the studio before doing my rock stuff, just because I loved to be in there. And David would be there first. I would go in early. I'm telling you, early first before any of those guys got there. Tune guitars, do whatever, practice. David would be there before me. I remember walking in one day and he had like this score on top of the keyboard. I said, what are you doing? He goes, what you come to do every day. He goes, I still have to practice. And he was playing like this most intricate classical piece. And I was just blown away at the ability of what he could do. A lot of people don't know that about him. But then he goes, why? Can I give you some advice? He goes, you got really good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
The way you play, the way you strum acoustic, because you've got great rhythm. You just learn every chord, every name to every chord, every minor, every major, every seventh, you just learn every chord. And now looking in hindsight, I know why he told me that. Like you really do play, and it bothers you that people don't know that you really play on your own record. People think you're a fabricated type group. I know it bothers you. Learn every chord. So
Well,
that was
that's the thing that I kind of mentioned before. With the freestyle group, some of them are very fabricated. Some of them they're like the monkeys. They got thrown together. And
yeah,
if you see them at a
not us.
show, you'll see a DJ playing a track and then the singer out front, and nobody's playing for real on a
Yeah,
lot of these
that bothers
freestyle
me.
groups.
Yeah,
It does. But
I
if you
wasn't
see
going
some
to
of them,
be in something like that.
yeah.
I wasn't going to be in something like that. So, I told Charlie that. I said, I'll do, but I can't be that because I can't fake it. You know what I mean? Of course, for TV, you got to fake it, because you got to have a TV track so it sounds good. But I said, I can't have that. So, we had there was 11 of us, the whole band. We were still the three front guys,
Hmm.
but we had a whole band that we went on the road with. We went on the road with Tommy Page, Sweet Sensation. Uh, we played with numerous amounts. I mean, we played the Greek Theater out in LA. I mean, there was nothing that we didn't play.
I mean, the
It
ones
was
that I
really
can
great.
think that played their own instruments, there's one that pops, Erotic Exotic. I know that they play their
Yeah,
own instruments as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And
Those guys were cool.
oh,
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
yeah,
I know their lead singer. He passed. He passed a while back.
yeah, yeah.
Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of, we kind of liked them. You know what I mean? A lot. So we kind of took their idea too. Their influence. They did influence, and Secret Society was out at the time
Secret
too, and
Society.
they played. So we were like, listen, we're just not, these tracks. We're gonna play over these tracks. You know what I mean? So we had gear, and then when the record went huge, we had tours in summers. We had a band, a full band, and everything was programmed and sequenced in the computer, and so we were like a live act, and that gave me a little bit of wiggle room, so that was okay. I enjoyed that a lot better because live music just makes you feel good, and you're playing in front of thousands of people playing
Absolutely.
live.
You're getting that
It didn't
energy.
matter what you're playing. Yeah, the energy's incredible. That's the rush. That's the drug.
Yeah.
So
So,
and then the ride kind of stops. It's a roller coaster,
well,
so it
yeah,
slows down.
because you kind of petered out. I mean, after '94, you were kind of done writing
I
music
quit.
with them. Yeah, absolutely. But before that, did you take any actual lessons, or was this all self-taught
Yeah,
on
I was a
guitar?
music major.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
was a music major. My old man, that's why I went to school. He said,
What
"Well, you're not
school?
going to join the Navy." I went to BCC,
Oh, okay. I went to BCC,
Broward Community College.
and
Yeah,
I almost joined the Navy too. And
great.
I got in a motorcycle wreck, and 2 days before I was supposed to ship out with the Navy,
Uh,
so I ended up at
yeah.
BCC. How about that?
Hey, you're a smart guy because the Navy only picks right, smart people. They're not like nothing against the Army folks,
Ah.
but you got to get picked for the Navy.
No, but I
You
ended
know.
up at BCC with communications and psychology. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the great psychology department. I took Psych 101.
Oh
It
yeah.
was great. Yeah,
Just
I did
enough
my
to
paper on
mess me
drugs.
up.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't take no more. I did my paper on illicit drugs.
Oh, I don't
I
remember what I did
remember
my
him
paper.
talking because I remember there was a huge subject in it.
Yep.
So
Oh,
I
I just
raised my hand. I go, yes. What's your paper going to be about? I said, can I do it about drugs? The whole class turned around.
uh-huh.
This is college now. This is, not high school.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember I was
excellent. The teacher goes, yes, excellent idea. I go,
87,
okay.
87, 88, 89 in there, somewhere in there. I was in the student activities. I was the DJ. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't get to class all that much the first couple of years.
Yeah, me neither, man. I didn't. I hung out. We had our own building, if you remember. The music department has
Uh,
its own building and it's on its own auditorium.
yes.
So,
Yes. I saw
I hung out in that wing. They got pianos, and drums, and, uh, the stage is very acoustic sounding. And, so I just hung out over there all the time. I didn't go to class much. I had to take theory, which was just incredibly tough and
yeah, I've heard that a
sight,
lot.
sight singing, the professor would go, dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. What kind of scale is that? Just by sound. And you're like, God, I don't know, you know?
No, I've heard that a
So, I
lot
mean, I knew how
from
to read. Yeah, it was hard, man. It was tough. But then one day it hit you.
hmm?
It hit you like a ton of bricks. And then all of it that you learned that you thought you learned nothing, you apply. It just hits you and you go, oh, that's how it works. It's just like one big math puzzle.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then when you get it, it's like enlightenment. You go, huh, that's, oh, oh, oh. I often look up who really invented the guitar because it's a difficult instrument to begin with and why they tuned it the way they did.
Right.
I'm very curious about that.
So what's
So,
the answer? Do you know? Do you remember?
some guy, put some strings on a guitar. It was an Italian guy. He made the first guitar. And,
Oh, man.
I don't know why he tuned it the way it's tuned. Uh, but it all makes sense now. The guitar is just one big math problem.
I'm sure you remembered for the test. But
Yeah.
school's over. School's
Yeah.
done. You put it into fruition.
Well, yeah, I left school, I met Tolga and I played in New York and, school was
yeah.
far behind.
I'm gonna be a rock star, baby. And you did. You
Yeah,
became
I'm
a
going to
rock
do
star.
what my old man said I can't do. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So
And then your mom,
I did all that, man.
your mom,
and then I quit.
your mom backed you up, and you got out. All right. So
Yeah.
94, you left you left Lanier, a very lucrative band, and
we were slotted for album 3.
Yeah.
But we had to wait a year. When you're 24 years old and you're on top of your game, a year's a long time.
Yeah, it's dog years.
I started writing songs with this guy, this, that, and the other. And then you meet guys like you, Dan. I made friends with a lot of program directors and music directors because I'm the only one that drank, and those guys didn't drink or whatever. And you would go to nightclubs, hey, we're going to go to this club tonight. You guys want to come? So you always go along, So I would go with these guys and have a beer with them or whatever. So it was different. You become drinking buddies. So I knew a lot of program directors, a lot of music directors. And I went on the second Lanier record. There's a ballad that I wrote called If You Go Away that I loved, that I thought should have came out. And they never put it out. I went and re-recorded it. I got it played like on 7 on our R&R station. So it would get noticed, but with no product to be sold. I did it the other way. So these stations are playing this record and you're going, hey man, they can't buy it. I go, yeah, the record's on the way, this, that, and the other. And then Atlantic came calling and said, Wyatt, what are you doing? I said, hey man, I got a new band, this, that, and the other. He goes, yeah, we heard you quit, this, that, and the other. Lanier got dropped instantly after I quit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It all fell apart then. Okay. And then what happened?
Yeah. So I started this band Soko and I got like 7 stations, big ones. And we were in Iowa, of all places. Dubuque, Iowa parties hard. Let me tell you, folks, it really does.
They got nothing else to do, baby.
Idea. You have no idea. It's Iowa, 30 years back, 25 years ago, you're going, Iowa. It's like,
I'm in Arkansas. These people party out here, baby.
Yeah, man. I had the best time I ever had in my life. I went to Duke about 5 times to the same station. At K Live, it was called. And I met Jeff Andrews. He does weather on a California station now. He used to be the music director for a lot of stations. He got tired of moving. He worked for Cumulus too, and now he does TV. So anyway, we got all these stations. And so Atlanta came calling, Wyatt, yes, we want the record, blah, blah, blah. They have no idea it's a record that I've already sold to them. Mind you. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I didn't say anything. So got the album ready. We're like, no, not really. We got to, we can do it like in a week. Just give us a week, give us the money, So we started a band called Southern Comfort. We called it Soko for short.
Soko.
Yeah. And we got signed to Atlantic, got about 70 stations, did a full album for them, and we flopped. So they threw us away. But it was a big, big learning curve. It was different. It was Southern rock, completely, because I come from Florida. It just came out,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started playing a lot of Slide, and then the Black Crows came out. I was like really digging on them big
Yeah.
time. So we toured, man. We toured. We opened up for like Quiet Riot, a bunch of rock bands and whatnot. And after Silco got dropped, I took the album. They gave us back the album with the publishing. I took it down to Hot Records in Miami, Paul Klein, which I'm sure you know.
I know
He
Hot
he had
Records.
he had Trim. You know, I let Trim was a girl group. The Cars That Go Boom.
Yes, we
Yeah,
like the cars that
that
go boom.
go boom. Yeah,
Trina and we like the
yeah,
boom. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, yeah. And
Ah,
so I sold that to him just to get it into the stores. And so that band fell apart. And my brother and I decided to open up a studio of our own. And I did that for a few years. And then the band came through. I really didn't care about too much. But my brother kept pushing me. They need a lead guitar player. They need a lead guitar player. I'm like, no, man, I'm just writing songs. I'm just going to go get a publishing deal or something. You know, but I was really down and out. That was like, you know, two bands on Atlantic, you
yeah.
know, that no longer existed. So, you
Well,
know,
I
I
mean,
opened the studio and I
yeah.
was just recording my new stuff, you know, but really no direction, no nothing, no drive to be with, you know, go pick up some guys and start out. None of that, you know. I didn't have that in me anymore. And then these guys came through, you know, because it also served as rehearsal space and recording place.
In Miami,
So, yeah, Hollywood.
Hollywood. Okay.
So it was my turn one night in the barrel, if you will. I go down there and the band's in there. So, and I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting them in to practice or whatever. I'm having a beer and I'm looking in the booth, you know, because you let them do their thing. I'm in the booth and I'm listening to the singer, the black guy. And I really started listening. Wow, this guy's incredible. And kept listening, kept listening, kept listening. And they had a horn player at the time and this, that, and the other. So I talked to my brother. I go, hey man, the singer's really good. He goes, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. They need a lead guitar player. They need somebody to produce them properly. I go, but their songs are like 6-7 minutes long. I go, radio is never going to play that ever,
Not
you
since
know?
Queen. Nope.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, I knew radio and I knew the people that, you know, I've been there. I went in through the back door, you know? So I'm like, these guys will never get on the radio ever. He goes, yeah, but so what? And he goes, you can fix it. I'm like, yeah, I could. So he arranges the whole thing. And I meet all the guys. The other guitar player, the band was called King Bria. The singer's name was Ivan King. And the guitar player that started with Ivan, his name was Richard Briglia. So they just shortened that to Bria because people had a hard time saying Briglia. So it just became King Bria, which was a cool name,
Yeah.
right? So then we became the King Bria band. And they brought in the drummer from SoCo that is now in Pauley Lane and sings. Uh, he's been, you know, we've made records for 20 years together. I haven't used anybody else besides this other guy named Eric that was in a band with also. Uh, so I'm like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, played and played. And he goes, yeah, man, we got a gig next week. Oh, ding, the alarm goes off again, you know? And I go and play this dive with these guys. And I started getting to the groove of the thing. And I'd never done the local thing. I've always played big nightclubs, like a big star. You know, even when we were on Power 96, we were on the radio. So perception's completely different.
Right.
So I'm in a bar, so I'm just a regular dude in a bar now, right? And hoping nobody knows who I am. No one ever did. And for a year, we played these bars and I was making money and I started having fun with these guys and they had their own sound and I kind of helped them and they finally got the funds. We went down to New River Studios. I produced the album. We cut 9 songs in one day because we were that good by then. We were really good. We played 4 nights a week
Excellent.
straight. There was no rehearsal needed, this, that, and the other. We went in, cut it, and it was done. We put it out, and we went on the road with Hootie and the Blowfish, Edwin McCain, Kansas, and we were still on an indie label. The bands themselves would pick us when they would see us on these tours.
Playing all your own
I played
stuff?
with Brother Kane, all
playing
over Alabama.
Playing all your own stuff, Wyatt, Pauley? Or
Yeah, playing King Bria stuff all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, and I wrote some stuff for them. Yeah,
Fantastic.
and went on the road with them for 2 years. Played Pontiac, Michigan,
Yeah.
just a bunch of places. And then, now I'm 30. I was 31 at that time, and that band fizzled out. They all do. I had learned that, so it was no big deal.
When was that?
So, 31, 19 years ago.
19 years ago.
So I literally met the girl next door where I was living.
What?
Yeah.
In Hollywood?
In
Florida?
No, in Boca at the time.
Okay, a little further north.
I got my first divorce. I was living in Boca with one of my brother's brother-in-law. He was married to his cousin, and he was a guitar player, and he had a music room and all that. He had a spare room. He would say, "Come spend the summer over here. I won't charge you rent, this, that, and the other. Just I'm going to pay a babysitter anyway." I'm like, "You want me to babysit?" She takes care of herself, this, that, and the other. I said, "You know who I am, right?" And he's like, "You'll be fine." So her name was Brittany, and I took care of her, and I kept doing gigs and stuff and living there. And then I had met the girl next door before at the bar that I used to play at a lot. And I had one too many. And she kind of looked real tall to me. So my first words to her were, "I want to climb you like a ladder." And she said, "Oh, very nice meeting you." She goes to my brother Joe, my older brother. He came from his gig at the wharf in Pompano all the way down to Hollywood. He goes, "Well, he's just my half brother." "Your brother is a jerk." Like if he was standing there looking over there. And, years went by, and then parties and stuff, and ended up living there. When she would see me, she'd say hi. She was cordial. She'd just go, "Hi, Wyatt." She just could not stand me because she said, "You thought you were who you were, and da-da-da. And I thought you were very cute and very talented, but I wasn't going to play, your little game of rock star game. I was not impressed by it at all." And then we got to be friends. And, I dated only like one girl, and I didn't see anyone or do anything. And then we became friends. And she came up with an idea to go to Jamaica for the whole neighborhood, live in a cul-de-sac. I still live here to this day. We all went to Jamaica, and we were only dating for a few months, but it was just like, I knew her for years, and we were friends. And I proposed to her, and then she just said, "You can't go on the road no more, though.
Oh.
You can do your music all you want, make records, this, that, and the other, but I'm not going to marry somebody that's always gone." And it was a fair trade because by 31, it'd been 11 hard years of traveling and doing and playing, and life got harder, you partied harder. I was ready for this lowdown,
Excellent. No, I've told people on this podcast before, in your 20s, do whatever you want. You're made of rubber. You still got Wolverine powers. Bounce.
Yeah, man.
But by the time you're 30,
you got to take advantage. Yeah.
By the time you're 30, you're ready.
You're going to settle down. Yeah, exactly.
And you're ready. So, and you're.
I got married at 23. It was the biggest mistake I've ever made.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Sometimes it works out. Most of the time it doesn't. That's what I found.
Like you asked before, did she marry you for you, or did she marry you for the guy you were?
Right.
And when I was no longer that guy, she was gone.
There she is.
So
yeah, just in time.
lesson.
Yeah, well, I mean, just in time for you went to Boca. You met this girl next door. Did you propose to her in Jamaica?
I did. Yeah.
Ah, wow,
I had
he's
no ring or
classy.
anything.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
you went
I
all the
didn't.
way to
I had
Jamaica.
no plan to do it. Yeah, we were just having such a great time. They had an aviary at this place. They had no birds in it, just plants. Uh, and they had a hammock. So we had a couple drinks. I'm in the hammock. Really in the hammock, looking at the aviary, and looking at the stars, listening to the sea. And it was not planned. I didn't plan to go ask to marry her in Jamaica or anything. I probably wanted to go have a good time. And enjoy Jamaican product. And yeah, we're on this hammock, and I go, I could do this with you, and she understood exactly what I meant. She totally did, and she's like, yeah, this would work. Yeah, I'd like that. I go, you do understand me, right? She goes, yeah, I get it. Then I properly proposed that Christmas and gave her a ring and everything. But yeah, right then and there, like that.
That's beautiful, man.
And you can tell there's two of my favorite pictures are with me and her in Jamaica the day we were leaving, but all that had transpired already, and we were so happy on the flight on the way home.
That's perfection.
So it was weird, I went back next door. She went back over here. And she goes, "Go get your stuff." So I went and got my clothes and all that. I left my gear there, 'cause I was recording over there. So. And then I moved here, and I haven't left.
That's beautiful, man.
And
Did you end up
yeah,
getting married in Boca?
the Keys
What? Where's the Key?
at Key Largo, at the Marriott Key Largo.
Marriott Key Largo. That's where I met John Cicada. I lived right down the street.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no, no. It wasn't Marriott Key Largo. That's not where I met him. But Marriott Key Largo was where I used to do weddings all the time.
yeah.
From
I got married there.
oh my
Yeah, I
goodness,
took pictures on the bridge, the whole thing, the
yeah.
classic pictures.
Most of the time when you have the wedding on the little pier area, there's little dolphins that jump behind it, and a lot of times you'll see boats going behind you while you're in your doing your
Yeah,
ceremony,
it was
so it
great.
makes for great pictures. And then you go
Yeah, the
upstairs
sun
for
was
this,
going down too.
and then I
Yeah,
would always set upstairs for the ceremony.
yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, we had band, the DJ, the whole thing. I played that night.
Oh, how
You know,
cool is that? No, the
her parents
Marriott.
never seen me.
That's
Yeah, her parents had never seen me play. Her
oh my
dad said to her,
goodness.
she goes,
Ah, you're
"Wow,
you're,
he
you're
can
making me
really play,
homesick.
huh?"
That was only 2 miles
Yeah,
away from my house.
yeah. He goes, her dad never seen me play. He's a connoisseur of good music,
Ah,
and he's vice president of Merrill Lynch. And
well,
he
all
looked at me
right.
and she goes, "You told me he played guitar, but I didn't know he could play guitar."
Yeah, he's a rock star. He didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. He was blown away. So I was happy about that.
And
So
how
it was a
long
party, man. It was just a party. It was great.
how long
I
have
had
you
all
been
my good
married?
friends there. I'll be married 20 years soon
20
in
years.
September.
You got
Yeah,
married at 31, you said. So 20 years
yeah,
later. Baby, that's
yeah. Yeah.
fantastic. How
30,
be
yeah, it's 19 right now. Yeah,
how
yeah.
beautiful is that? Yeah, I'm 51 years old, so we chewed a lot of the
Yeah, I'm
same dirt.
51.
You know,
I'm 51.
yeah, we chewed a lot of the same dirt there in South Florida. I can't believe you got married at
Yeah.
the Marriott. That used to be my home base. I would do weddings every weekend there. That was great.
And I really thought it was like cliche, but I wasn't going to complain,
No, no.
But it ended up being awesome because every crazy friend that I know came out.
How
And
beautiful is
I
that?
wrote a song with the Pauley Lane stuff. There's a song called Drunks and Fools, that God only loves drunks and fools. There was this saying I heard in a movie.
Well, let's
So,
get into that.
God only loves drunks and fools. I don't remember.
Yeah.
God only loves drunks and fools. Because they got away with something so ridiculous, right? And they
No,
were
no.
drunk
I
and they
mean, what I'm
were just
saying
complete fools.
is from
I have
31.
7 friends
Yeah.
named Richard that came. My
Okay.
drummer's name Richard. The guy I used to in SoCo was a singer. His name was Richard. My manager's name was Richard. The drummer in Lanier was Richard, just a bunch of them. So Drunks and Fools is a dedication to them. And I name all of them in this song. I have 7 friends named Rich.
That's
My
fantastic.
bestest friend that I grew up with, Rich Rodriguez.
That's fantastic.
Ricardo Rodriguez, but he's still a Richard.
Oh my goodness! All right,
So,
as we're going through this, I mean, this is you've already told me so much about your life. This is great. Now, from 31, you got married. Her stipulation was no more touring, no more touring.
right,
So you're
exactly.
not touring anymore. What
Oh,
are you
I
doing?
tour and I do shows, but
But locally,
not no, not locally. I go to the UK a lot.
what? That's not
Yeah,
local.
well, uh, uh, I started a band. I've never, this Richard said to me, the drummer that I've been playing with for many years, he
Yeah,
was
which of
staying
the
with me at the
7
time.
Richards?
Yeah, the drummer,
Yeah,
and he came. He he went to Nashville to live for a while to try his luck at Nashville. He was like kind of strung and missed. So he comes home to regroup, and he goes, "Hey man, I wrote this song. And it's very unlikely. He's never written a song before in his life. He's just a drummer, one of the best drummers I know. Not because he plays with me, but he's just all the engineers say so. So he's got perfect meter, like Charlie Watts. So we record this song. He goes, I wrote this song. It was a saying his mother used to say all the time. You can count all your friends in 5 fingers. People that you can depend on. You're lucky if you can count all your friends on 5 fingers.
absolutely. I agree.
So I had a little riff. We put the song, and my wife looked at me and she goes, so we went and recorded it. We were done like at 4 o'clock in the morning, but we went in at 8 o'clock at night into the studio and come out till 4. The song was done, finished. It was, you couldn't miss. It was 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and the hook kicks in right at 30 seconds. It's got a real short intro, verse, hook within 30 seconds. You couldn't miss. Has a bridge, it was the perfect written song. So we were like on Reverb Nation and stuff like that. We weren't even serious.
Yeah,
And the song started doing good. It got downloaded like 7,000 times.
that'll do.
So I was like, all right. And all the people that were biting and buying it or downloading the free one was people from the UK. So I ended up getting kicked off Reverb Nation because I didn't want to pay them their stupid fees for these opportunities they offer.
How do you
Because
get kicked off? I thought it was all free.
it is free, but if you wanted to sign up for something, you got to pay them. And I did it a couple times, and
Oh,
they
okay.
never forgot to take my card off their list. I opted out, whatever. So we got in this big fight. I never paid them. Well, we're going to cut you off. I'm like, okay. So I took to Twitter and did research for about 6 months. And then I got brave enough. I reached out to one station, sent them 5 fingers. Okay, we like it. Let's play it. Before that, when we recorded the album, we did it for us. Like the bio says. I said to Richard, I said, I got a little money, man. Let's go into the studio right up the street from my house, about 15 minutes. Keith Ridenauer, you remember him? He's back here. He owns the biggest studio right now in South Florida.
Keith who?
Keith Ridenauer.
And that is familiar, but no, I don't think I
Ridenauer
know.
Studios.
I don't know.
Ridenauer Studios.
I
No,
don't.
no, okay. He came back and he said the biggest studio. So I called him up because I know him. Like, didn't even have to give him a dime or anything. He goes, come. I went, looked, or whatever. I said, this is all I got. He goes, go. I'm like, okay. So met the engineer. Some happen to know that I knew the engineer because he worked with this guy, Ellis Pacheco, that worked with the Cover Girl. He goes, oh my God. He goes, you probably don't remember me. I worked with Ellis, this, that, and the other. He goes, you were in Lanier, aren't you? I go, yeah, I was, but this is nothing like that at all, He's like, okay, what are you going to do? I says, well, mic everything up And he goes, okay, put your amp in the room. I go, no, I like my amp in the room with the band because we played, the way we want. I wanted to make a record the way I wanted to make a record. We weren't making a record for, radio or anyone. Richard and I were making a record for ourselves for the first time. So we went in there, we made a bunch of noise. I had a bunch of songs written over the years. I had like notebooks all over the floor. We were picking songs as we went. And then we rehearse them one time, go outside, get ready, and we talk about what we were going to do. So Keith Reidner comes in and he looks at the engineer. What the hell's going on, man? They have all this time. He goes, they bullshit for about 45 minutes and they record for about 15 minutes a song. He goes, I don't know. And then I was in another room. There were some black guys that used to play with James Brown. I went and grabbed one of them. I said, come over here real quick. And I threw him in the studio and I put him in on record and he played too. He's like, what the hell is going on? He goes, I don't know. But when they come back in, they get it. They get it one time and then they go back outside. And before you know it, we were done in 2 days. We had the Pauley Lane album, the first one. Oh. And Five Fingers are recorded at home.
Oh, my.
Before that.
Well, okay.
So, yeah, we went to Reverb Nation. It did okay. This, that, and the other got kicked off. Noticed it was UK. I got Five Fingers played all over the UK. And then ANX Records came calling. And I signed a deal with them. I signed the publishing deal and everything. To this lovely woman named Pauline Smith.
Now, ANX Records reached out to you.
Records from London. Yeah.
Yes, I see. I knew that you were connected with them somehow, and I've been following them on Twitter and kind of keeping in contact with them. But how did they? How did your music make it over to
England? Weirdest combination, and it was the weirdest combination. I saw that she was mainly a prominent reggae-based label, right?
Which they love in England.
I didn't say anything. Yeah, of course, dance hall. And then I thought about it. Yes. One of my favorite bands, and Richard's band, is the Police.
Why not?
The Police. They were like white reggae.
Yes.
Right? So we were like, okay, I get it. Okay. So we go over, we meet her and her husband and do a bunch of promo and did a bunch of things. So, we did good. And then we have this new record coming out now. And then I'm going to actually, by the end of July, I think I'll be done. And I will put my first solo album out. And she's got like worldwide distribution. I just signed a girl today, a girl named Mercedes Barreto. Look out for this young lady. She's 21 years old.
Yeah.
She's bilingual.
Yeah.
She's from Argentina.
Okay.
She writes her own songs and she produces all her own songs. She knows how to use all the gear at 21 years old.
Que bueno.
Yeah.
I want to talk to her. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. She'll be up and going soon,
That's beautiful.
I got
all the songs that you have.
I told her, I said, A&R guy just doesn't mean the guy who signs people. It means that, I'm an artist representative. I need to know all these things about you.
Yeah.
So I can represent you to Pauline to sell you to her.
Oh.
So she was like, okay. So Pauline said yes. And it's currently going on right now as we speak.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing once you get to a certain age. It's helping the next generation, the next stars come up.
I'm always looking for like that gem, that rock, that hit. She submitted, very shy. She submitted one song.
Yeah.
And I played it. I have my own radio show and I played it. And she was so nice this time, So I started questions and I noticed that she had a 561 exchange. I'm like,
that's right down the street from you.
I have a 561 exchange.
That's West Palm, baby.
I live in Boca. You're right. I live in Palm Beach. She lives in Palm Beach. I call her. It's a phone that her parents live here. She lives there. It's a phone that she uses for her parents. She goes, but no, I live in Buenos Aires and this, that, and the other.
Wow.
She speaks perfect English. Yeah. And So we got to talking. How old are you? She goes, I'm 21. Ding.
Yeah. Just
And I go,
ready.
you do all this by yourself? Yeah. I says, so you have nobody. Nobody produces, nobody writes, you're not in a band or anything? She goes, no, I do it all. I says, do you have any type of bio or anything? She goes, no, but I can write something up. So she wrote me what she's done, and she's done all these songs. She said, like 30 songs ready to go. 21 years old. I said, listen, you're 21. You got nothing to lose. I
Yeah.
go for it. So she said, yeah. The other one said, yeah. And so they're going to meet, and hopefully she does well.
Talk about diamond in the rough. That's one that you just picked up. Just buff that off a little bit. She's all
Yeah,
shiny now.
that's it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And she had no idea why I was calling it or anything. I've been talking to her, and I've been playing her music, and I've been asking her questions slowly. And then got to the root of it. I'm like, you're green as hell. You're perfect.
All right. Since you
You know what
mentioned
I mean?
your radio show, where can people find the radio show?
My show is on Thursdays, 8 p.m. in the UK and 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Radioactive Radio. My show is called Wyatt on the Radio. And if you're an independent artist, an unsigned artist, and you have a rock band, I play all genres of music. Send them in to Celtic Audio Development at Gmail. You can
Excellent.
find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram under Lanier Band Wyatt, because Charlie wanted me to do that. So Pauley Lane Band, you can only find really on Twitter and Instagram under Lanier Band Wyatt.
Yeah, I just looked up Wyatt Pauley, and most of it comes up you. I know there's other Wyatt Pauleys out there, but I have on the software that I'm using to make the video that we're currently recording, I have Wyatt
Oh, it's
Pauley
awesome. I can't
and
wait to see it.
at Wyatt Pauley underneath it. So people will see
Yeah,
that.
Pauley was very concerned. She wants the video. So
Well,
I go, she said, make sure you ask them. Thank God you said something, because I would have forgot.
no problem at
Sorry,
all.
Miss Pauline.
So
He's
yes.
recording.
Oh no problem at all. And like as we're winding down, I guess I've taken enough of your time. I know this. Hopefully, this isn't the last time that we
Oh,
talk.
no, absolutely. I
As
mean, I
time
could go
progresses.
on and on and
Oh, for
on.
sure.
I mean,
For sure. I
yeah,
mean, my
you
goodness,
know,
we're reminiscing about things that I know exactly where you're at. The Marriott, Key Largo. Hello, I was there. In
yeah,
Boca
I
for sure.
love it, man. I mean, I live in paradise.
Oh, you're making me
You
homesick.
forget all the time, but right now, it's really bad, and we look really bad in the news.
It
And then
does. It does. But
I told Pauline today when I spoke to her, I said, I'm embarrassed talking to you.
you
She goes,
realize
why?
there's a lot
I go, this idiot president. Oh my God. I feel so stupid because I've been all over, and I've been to London and stuff. I go, Pauline, they won't let me back in your country. She goes, you dirty American. I'm like, cut it out. I can't wait to go back.
Well, I mean, but you realize there's a lot of senior citizens that live in South
Oh,
Florida.
yeah. No, of
So
course.
I'm
Oh my
sure
God. Let's not get started about that,
yeah,
especially in Boca.
yeah, that can't
Yeah.
be that's got to be running the numbers up. I feel bad for the
But
people
you'd
that
be
have tried.
surprised. You'd
Yeah.
be surprised. Of course. I feel terrible. I lent my talent to a band called Awake State on Twitter, and they got a couple fan pages.
Okay.
This started like on a group text by a guy named Peter for Copper One. Peter's a really nice guy. He started this group chat, and he got this guy named GK Aliasa, who's like a Rage Against the Machine type rapper. And he got this other band named Minus Cube in the group text with a guy named Joe who produces and blows me away on guitar.
Uh-oh.
And Peter. Yeah. And got this bass player named Nat, who basically became the producer of this project. And Peter wanted to do a song for COVID right away because he felt helpless. So, in I Am Warface and Operation Neptune Spear, other guys too. So he's got all these people in the group text, and they're all kind of heavy bands and with a heavy rapper. But they know I play rock and I can do this, that, and the other. So they start recording these songs, and we start passing this song around, this, that, and the other. So all the guitar parts, Joe did, all that stuff from minus keys. I'm like, what's left? I'm like, Peter goes, well, let's play to your strengths. You play keyboards too. He goes, see if you can come up with something with it. So I came up with an intro and the out part, and I played acoustic guitar on it. So we all learned for talent, and all the proceeds and the whole thing goes straight to COVID charity.
Sweet.
So we did that, and it's really cool. But Awake State, from that one song, that became really cool, and it got played a lot, and it's still getting played and bought. They went and started another song. It's called Red Pill, and I worked on that a little bit with them. I did a keyboard part, and now they did another song called The Great Divide, which is just like hard drums, guitar. I didn't put my talent to that one. And GK lent his voice to that. And he sounds just like Rage Against the Machine. It's about racism and all the stuff that's going on. So Awake State is really went from COVID to what's going on right now. And then we're doing all these songs like that out different parts of the country. 2 guys from Ontario, 1 guy from Vancouver, 1 guy from Seattle, 1 guy from Florida, and 2 guys from the UK.
Yeah.
But the technology's gotten so much better. You pass the song around and you add it, and somebody likes what you do, you keep it. And if not, you can't get offended about it because you're just passing it around.
And people are recording their parts. They're recording their parts in different places. I've talked to a cat
at home.
Yeah, I talked to a cat in Australia. His bass player was in the Middle East, and his drummer was in Germany, and they recorded it all and put it all together in Australia. This technology is great. I love it that you can do that.
Especially right now that you can.
Yeah,
we miss playing, with the guys and stuff, and you can't get together with your guys and play out. You can't even get together and practice, So everyone gets itchy, especially if you're a songwriter and a guitar player, and you're trying to keep the heat on, for your brand. You kind of get stumped. Like poor Richard, his job is the guy that works with me. Besides,
which of the 7?
Being in Pauley Lane. Yeah, the drummer. He also plays in a cover band. So his job went to crap. And of course, he can't claim unemployment because musicians, don't get paychecks. They take cash at the end of the night. So he can't even play. So he had to go back to Nashville.
Yeah.
So he's over there.
You're telling the kids
can't
exactly.
do nothing. Yeah. We listen to this one. You want to hear the real sad COVID story?
Hit me.
We were going to record at Abbey Road in April, the 24th and the 25th, paid for everything. Pauline got us that. We were going to make a live record. We had 20 hours at Abbey Road. Because when I went there, it was one of the places we visited right away.
Yeah.
And if you look on YouTube, a song called Radio Song, it's an homage to guys like you. And all the jocks and all the program directors all over the globe that we've met. And if you listen to the verses, it's all about you guys going from state to state to visit the stations and make friends and meet the people who like the music. So it's called Radio Song
by Pauley Lane.
And it starts right away. And what I was going to say about the video is I used all the footage from London the first time we went. Me and Richard.
There it is.
Because I could play anything. So I played everything on the record. He played drums and he sang and I sang with him and I sang some lead on some and we brought this guy Cedric in. Pauley Lane is really kind of like a Steely Dan type thing. Whoever's around is kind of like in the group. Kind of like Awake State. But, here in South Florida, we've used 5 different bass players, we're kind of like Steely Dan. 2 guys put it together and they just, from all the musicians that hey, you want to cut a track? Come on in.
Yeah, you were making the engineer crazy. You were grabbing guys from off the streets. Oh, what, you played with James Brown?
This guy,
come on in
he
here.
was like, what are they doing? Because I don't know, they bullshit for 45 minutes and they come in and cut 15 minutes and it sounds great.
All right, Pauley Lane.
They were like, we were still the roughest, loudest band they ever had in there. Not as far as music, just the personality.
Wyatt Pauley. I mean, definitely, we could go for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
But
stop me because
what do you
please.
plan to do once we bust out of quarantine? What's the first thing you want to do?
Uh, well, I'm going to finish this record, so obviously I'm going to need to go promote it, and I need to, in the worst things of all, I have a brand new record. It just came out a couple months ago that I even can't really even promote, and I'm very proud of it. I worked with a guy named Drew
Yeah,
from the Delirium series. I'm very good friends with Drew. He's a Scottish professor of music
from
in
Delirium Trees.
Aberdeen. Yeah, Aberdeen, or I forget where he lives. Turniff, Scotland. Yeah, near Aberdeen. Yeah, he's a great guy. His name is Drew Jarvis. He's like I said about David Frank, he's one of those incredible keyboard players that you most met. I sent him a track to work on, and what he came back with is California Honey.
Yeah,
And what he did on that track, it was just kind of like a blues track in open tuning. What he did with opened it up completely. And it totally changed what we were doing. I was like, Drew, I wish I would have met you years ago when Linear was still around. You would have been so helpful. So I worked a lot with Drew and I write a lot with Drew and he does his thing, man. I don't tell him what to do or anything. I just send it to him and say, what do you think? Just give me a few days. And then he'll put something to it. And anything he plays on or he co-produces with me, we made like a gentleman's deal that he gets his proper credit. And that's it.
well,
So
all
he's
this
helped me a lot.
all this
Yeah.
stuff, Wyatt
Delirium
Pauley.
Tree.
Is it
Yeah.
under Pauley Lane Band? Is that where we find
Yeah,
all that?
we're Pauley Lake Band. Yeah, I
Okay.
got my own YouTube channel.
Well, I have you on the YouTube, and I found you on the SoundCloud. You don't know, she's so funny, Mary Jane, isn't she something? Fame faded, long hair, drunks and fools, the one you talked about before. That was
Yeah.
great. I mean, all
Yeah.
that's on there. So
That's Dog Days. And then the one out right now is called Out of Necessity.
okay, so working the
And
what?
that's because of the name. The
How,
guys in the band make fun of me all the time because it's my last name. But I figured I better use it while I have it so I could get some of the Lanier fans to listen to my new music, which
yeah,
they do, and they do buy. Yeah,
yeah. I was
true
wondering
Lanier
how,
fans
how are
do.
you making some
Uh-huh.
money off of this? Now, are you on Spotify? Are they on Apple
I
iTunes?
I I am on. You name it, I'm on it.
Okay, all right.
I'm on Pandora.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find all the
I'm
links and put them in the show notes so that way people can find them
Yeah,
and
I'm
click them.
everywhere.
And
Like if
make.
you look on Songwhip, it'll tell you everything that I'm on.
All right, I'll look for it on
I
Song
mean,
Whip.
if you Google me, you Google Wyatt Pauley because musical artist, I think it goes to Pauley Lane. But if you Google Wyatt Lanier Spending All My Love, you could probably spend 2 days just in that alone.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right,
Yeah.
man. As we wind this down, I usually end these things with like last words for the people, and this could be, something that you've thought of, words to live by. Yeah. Oh, wait, there is one thing. You did mention you have a couple of siblings. I want you to brag on them. You have the one sister that was reading magazines with your mom,
I'm
and
at a 9.
9.
I have 9.
Okay, because I heard about the brother that you worked with a little bit. So 9.
Yeah.
Is everybody doing
Okay. I'll
okay?
tell you all about all my brothers. Yes,
All
they're
right.
doing fine.
Let's
My
brag on them for
oldest
a little bit.
brother.
Yes.
Okay, I'm actually the oldest is Susan. My sister Susan, who is incredible. She's an import export. She works with cruise ships all over the world, mostly Portugal. And then there's my brother Michael. He's been a truck driver all his life. Like I said, we've been in this kind of moving thing, doing or whatever. And he took to trucking.
Wait.
So
Is
he's a
it
big truck.
moving like your dad was into moving?
No.
No, it's really moving.
He
Okay.
doesn't even work for moving. He just drives big semis.
Okay.
That's
I
what he
get it.
does for a living. And then there's my brother Robert, who is a robotics engineer. He graduated cum laude from FAU. Yeah, he's a smart one.
My mom went
And
to
there's my
FAU.
brother Joe. My brother Joe D. My dad's name's Joe, but his name's Joe David, but everyone calls him Joe D. But most people think his name is Jody, like a girl. So he's an incredible percussionist timbali player, plays drums. Uh, he plays in this it's this Latin jazz explosion fusion or something. They play all over Long Island. They're really really good.
Like with Tito
They
Puente
play
Jr.?
merengue is coming back bigger than ever all over Long Island. He's gigging all the time.
Cool.
And let's see, then you got my sister Macarena from Chile. Um, she's a mom. She used to work for my dad for a long time. I don't know what she does really right now.
She's in the
I talk
moving
to her all the time. I
business.
mean, as for work, no,
Moving business.
they're all did. Yeah, we all did take the moving business. I even don't know moving companies, but they were all legit.
Okay.
My old man had seen the movie American Made. I go, have you seen that movie yet? He goes, yeah, I saw it. He goes, yeah, the good old days. That was his answer. I was like, oh my God, doesn't look so good to me, man.
I'm putting it on my list.
Yeah, we had to move to Peru in the middle of the night. We got woken up. And literally all these moving men are in the house at midnight. I'm a kid. I don't understand what the hell's going on. And a week later, I was in Ecuador. Back in Ecuador. Dad got us a house, this, that, and the other. Got us set up, and he split for a while. Yeah, and then come later, Mom said, we have to leave. We got kicked out of Peru. Why? He goes, because the president found out your dad worked for, the company. I go, oh.
All right. And we're on to Macarena.
He was friends with the president, and he never knew.
All right. Let's keep on with the siblings, and then we'll get on out of here.
Okay.
Macarena.
So, Robert, Joe, and then
you were at Macarena. Yeah.
She's married to a cop. Then I have my sister Patty, who has graduated also cum laude from FAU Miami.
My mom did too.
Sister Lillian, who's a medical assistant, is my closest one, and my brother Gene works at Pods. He's the general manager for Pods.
Excellent.
Those pod things?
Yeah.
Trucking, once again.
I think that's a great idea to store stuff.
I told the old man, I remember seeing the first truck with the thing, and I was like, Dad, that's
a great idea.
That's going to be it.
Yeah.
Moving is over.
Yeah.
People would rather break their own crap than hire somebody to break it.
Put your stuff in a little storage and let somebody load it up.
And sure enough, he sent me to go take the school and the whole thing and the program, and I taught my brother Gene how to run the machine, whatever. And he ended up having two franchises, one in El Paso, real close to the border, and one in Miami. He owned the one in Miami. So Pods decided they wanted to buy the one in Miami back. Because, all of a sudden they realized that Miami's quite a market. So my old man sold it back to them.
Hopefully for a big profit.
$2 million.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, that'll do, man.
It cost $50,000 to get in.
Sounds like everybody's doing reasonably well at this point.
Yeah,
that's
we
cool,
all
man.
try to outdo each other. We have that old man to live after.
Yeah, so, absolutely, man. And that's what he taught you.
But you know what?
The
best thing he ever said to me was like, you know what? I don't care much about, he goes, I can't even play the radio good. He goes, but you did something that no one could ever take away from you. He goes, go look at all those gold records. He goes, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I go, Pops, those gold records mean nothing at all. And that's the first line in Fame Faded Lullaby. I got gold records on the wall that seem to mean nothing at all. Tell me why? The fame fade away. It's called Fame Faded Lullaby.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Wyatt
It's about the ride.
All right. Like
Thank
I said,
you. This is awesome. I can't wait to see it.
No,
I even showered and shaved for this.
Yeah, you look good, man. Green. Really green.
Green. I know it's horrible.
But that's all right. And no, earlier I was looking at the little Skype message that you sent me. You said, hey, I'm going to try to find a background because I got to do an interview a little bit later. And actually that background was pretty good. It had a guitar in the background, just like you have right there. So, yeah.
Right there. It's pretty good right here. You want me to play you out some?
No, 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 no. I always like to end with last words for the people. And Wyatt
Oh,
Pauley, I want you to, give me either some words of advice that you live by, or just whatever pops into your head right now. Wyatt
I
Pauley,
actually,
last words for
I
the people.
actually always be nice to everyone. It doesn't cost a thing. You don't have to open your wallet. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. And also donate to the ASPCA and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And always be nice. Be nice. And my word of advice is wisdom is knowledge applied. And the term for I'm not a racist, that's racist implies that you were a racist at one time. It's anti-racist, which means you do something about it. And that's what I leave with.
Well, there you have it, party people. Wyatt Pauley. Man, I knew it was going to be great. The man has been around for quite some time. He graduated high school in 87 and then started his music career right away. By 1990, he's on the Billboard charts with Lanier. Yeah, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's how fast it can be sometimes, but you got to work for it. Yeah, he hustled. He went off to, I mean, of course, he perfected his craft. He went to school for guitar and music and learned all about the craft of playing guitar and music and such. But he went straight to New York, the place to be if you want to make it. And he found some friends up there. Actually, he had a friend here in South Florida, and then moved on up there with him. I mean, you heard the whole story. Fantastic story of how you make it if you work for it. You can do anything you want. And when you're in your 20s, my goodness, try some things. Try and fail, try and succeed. And he tried a lot of things, and he did it, man. He toured all over this great country of ours with Lanier and beyond. Now he's got the Pauley Lane band, and he's putting stuff out. I can't believe, man. It's so hard to believe that they found him in England, and he's with NX Records now. I mean, he started off with Atlantic Records in the 90s, and now he's with NX Records out there in good old Merry England. So that's great, man. Thank you so much, Wyatt Pauley, for giving me a chit chat here on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I appreciate it so much. And you took me down memory lane. I mean, you're sitting there in South Florida. Now, we chewed a lot of the same dirt. I can hardly believe you got married over at the Marriott in Key Largo. That's my home base right there when I was down there. I did so many weddings at that spot, man. Put that on the walking tour. I encourage you. I make no money from the Marriott in the Key Largo, but if you're going to get married in Key Largo and you have a destination wedding that you want to plan, you could do a whole lot worse than going to the Marriott Key Largo. They have an outside pier that usually they set up if it's a nice day outside, and usually it is. They have the outside by where the boats are. There's like a little jetty, and they set up the ceremony out there. And then usually I would set up like a smaller system out there if you have a DJ, and then I would set the big system upstairs up on the third floor. So by the time you get upstairs, you'll be able to see the sunset go down over the Gulf of Mexico right there on the bay side. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. That's a great spot. My goodness, thank you so much for taking me down memory lane. I remember doing a lot of weddings in Boca, for that matter, West Palm Beach, and Fort Lauderdale, and Broward Community College. We definitely went there. I mean, that you think of community college, now it's called Broward College. It got too big for its britches, so now it's Broward College. They took the community out of there. They did the same thing with Miami-Dade Community College. Now it's Miami-Dade College. So yeah, I guess once the school gets to a certain size, it takes that community out of there because it's too big for its britches. All right, party people. Thank you so much once again, Wyatt Pauley. Oh, I'm giddy. I had a good time talking to you. I could have talked for a long, long time, but I got to be mindful of people's time. All right. If you'd like to tell your story, yes, I'm talking to you. If you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.